On the news at 1, Federal Executive Council makes move to revamp Nigeria's infrastructure and investment. JAMB releases additional 36,540 UTME results. And FCT Police Command adopts advanced technology to combat crime. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us on the news desk of NTA Channel 5, Abuja. My name is Tessie Omiri. We begin on infrastructure. The federal government says it is fine-tuning plans on a policy to facilitate partnership with the private sector in order to generate improved funding for general infrastructure, with particular focus on the housing sector development. This was part of the resolutions at the 11th meeting of the Federal Executive Council. State House correspondent Musbaut Wahab was there.
An unusual meeting on a Tuesday, as the council members were set to pick up from where they left off on Monday. Arrival of the president set the meeting in motion. In the concluding part of the meeting, how to make up for the infrastructure deficits across sectors in the country, improvement in power generation and supply were part of the protracted discussions. Expectedly, Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, and his affected colleagues emerged from the meeting with a lot to reveal.
It's a bumper edition.
And now, in partnership with the private sector, the government is firming up arrangements to leverage the local opportunities provided by pension, life insurance, and investment funds to finance infrastructure growth with emphasis on the housing sector.
On the supply side, construction of houses will be funded. On the demand side, mortgages will be made available so that those constructing houses have an outlet. And Nigerians who are saving so much by way of pension funds have the added bonus of access to affordable mortgages.
The ministers also clarified on the federal government's decision that henceforth it will only give procurement approval to its ministries, departments and agencies for compressed natural gas, CNG, solar or electric power vehicles and power generators.
What the federal government is doing in conjunction with the National Institute of Transport Technology is to start the conversion. We have recently done it for patrol vehicles of the Nigerian Army and some of the ministries, departments and agencies. And it is not only limited to federal or state government, it is also extended to private individuals.
It's a decisive move, even for climate change, and there are benefits to be had there, enormous economic benefits to be had. All around the world, the biggest funding available is for anything to do with climate change, climate adaptation.
The much talked about cumbersome nature of the Nigerian visa processing received attention and approval of the Council for the Ministry of Interior to finalize arrangements for a new policy to ensure issuance of a country's visa in 48 hours.
And it will also make it possible for other people to be captured under the visa on arrival policy. The Minister of Interior asked that he'll be given between 3 and 4 weeks to conclude on the new visa regime. So within the next 4 weeks, maximum, about a month, we should see a new visa policy regime for Nigeria.
The seeming disparity in the payment of access fee at federal airports was also addressed with the Council's approval for the relevant agency to enforce general compliance.
It is inconceivable. The VIPs who are supposed to have money don't pay for services, but they compel poor men to pay for services. And I said, no. So I got my team together. I said, we need the backing of council to compel everybody. In fact, guess what? Our memo says, with the exception of the president and the vice president, the president overruled me. He said he and the vice president will pay. He said everybody.
Ministry of Power equally secured 3 approvals from the Council to improve power infrastructures across the country.
There was a new approval for a 93-kilometer transmission line in the southeast. There is also an approval for 15 numbers of earthing transformers and earthing reactors to strengthen the grid. And we also got approval for emergency restoration systems so that we can easily repair those power assets in terms of transmission towers, transmission lines that were vandalized in various parts of the country.
The Council also approved memos for the award of contract for the construction of 12 roads across the country, including the Section 2, Phase 1 of the flagship Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road. From the State House, Musbah and Wahab, NTA News.
African First Lady, under the auspices of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, have expressed a strong resolve to push the frontiers of Pan-Africanism and solidarity for the development of the continent. This was at a farewell reception organized for visiting First Ladies under the successful launch of the We Are Equal campaign in the country. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo has more.
Appreciating the visiting First Ladies for their show of support and solidarity during the We Are Equal campaign launch in the country, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu says the passion they share for the well-being of their people will eventually pave way for Africa to realize its full potential.
And I believe that, when we all come together, we can make this continent what is God has ordained it to be.
Sharing her optimism, some of our sisters note that with OAFLAD as a platform, they can do more to drive positive change on the continent.
As everyone else has said, united, we can do a lot for our women and children, especially that's my passion in Africa.
Before their departure, the visiting First Ladies were given a taste of Nigerian cultural ambience during a guided tour by their hosts. In Abuja, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
The House Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values has visited the Nigerian Television Authority, describing the infrastructure and technological development in the NTA as massive and encouraging. Ignatius Nkwo has more on the oversight visit.
Arrival of members of the House Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values at the Nigerian Television Authority on Parliamentary Oversight. Straight on arrival, committee members were taken round the studios and other ultra-modern broadcasting facilities. The Director General explained that they were achieved from the organization's meager resources. Inside the boardroom, the executive legislative engagement took off. Good afternoon, everyone. The Director General of NTA, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, ruling out budget performances of the organization in the 2023 and 2024 fiscal year.
2024 performance. For capital, we have 894,242,813 naira, and no release so far.
The Director General emphasized the need for improved funding to enable the organization carry out its project, especially the digitization of its broadcast equipment, completion of its corporate headquarters, and the maintenance of community and state capital stations.
During the year 2023, we were able to move some of our operations from the former premises to the permanent site with little resources available, just like I've highlighted during our tour of some of our facilities. The challenges that we have been confronted, Honorable Chairman and Honorable Members, are basically paucity of form. You will agree with me that NTA is scattered across the country. As it is, we have more than 100 stations, operational stations. And we also are in battle or bedeviled with obsolete equipment and the changes in technology.
And at your time, you've been able to put this place together to the level that it has found itself. We want to equally, on behalf of the chairman, congratulate you.
The parliamentary committee acknowledged what it described as huge progress made by the NTA management with its mega resources. It advised ministries, departments and agencies of government to always pay NTA for its services to enable it serve the nation better.
See the environment, I listen to you without appreciating you and commending you for good work, work well done. You must be commended.
With the very little resources you have, you'll be able to keep the place very neat and moving. It's quite encouraging. Not many government offices you go, you have this environment. As an architect, I'm very particular about what I see.
There shouldn't be any free service to any agency. There should be communication. Any agency that is inviting you to cover their program, there should be a kind of correspondence to that effect. Let them know. You buy diesel, you buy petrol and the rest to move your vehicle down and your personnel that are going to work.
This is the committee's first oversight visit to the Nigerian Television Authority and plans to extend its visit to NTA stations across the country. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Many thanks, Ignatius. Now to education. 2,977 intending pilgrims, or rather to religious matters, from FCT will be airlifted from Abuja for the 2024 Hajj exercise. Aisha Uba Ali reports that FCT Minister of State Maria Mahmoud, in a farewell message, charged the intending pilgrims to pray for the nation and to also adhere to the laws and new policies of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
The FCT Hajj camp seems to be the recent hub and a convergence point, as all is set to begin the airlifting of the pilgrims performing this year's spiritual exercise in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The mother of the capital, Maria Mahmoud, deemed it fit to say farewell, but leaving them with a strong message. The minister expressed confidence that the FCT Hajj operation this year would be rated higher than the previous ones, going by the commitment of the entire officials.
To achieve this, as usual, the administration has successfully concluded all necessary arrangements for the welfare of our intended pilgrims to the Holy Land.
Director, FCT Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board, Abubakar Adamu Ivuti, says the figure of less than 3,000 comprises regular seats allocated to the board by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, the seats registered through the Hajj Savings Schemes, HSS, and seats allocated to stakeholders due to the peculiar status of the FCT.
The board has been able to conduct series of activities to prepare the intended pilgrims for this year's Hajj exercise.
A first-time pilgrim, Muhammad Habib and Sheikh Khalid applauded the preparation made so far by the board.
Rules, regulations, and especially the laws of the Saudi Arabian country and Nigeria must be properly adhered to.
We are doing everything strategically, and we are actually enjoying the way they are handling us.
The board appreciated the effort of the FCT administration that made it possible to secure a befitting accommodation in Mecca for the intending pilgrims, which will enable them perform their 5 daily obligatory prayers at the holy mosques with ease. In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Board, Bishop Stephen Adegbite, has pledged to build on the successes of his predecessors with a renewed vigor to enhance smooth operation of the pilgrims while in Israel. Asibe Williams reports that he disclosed this as part of activities to mark his 100 days in office, stressing that peaceful resolution of the Israel-Hamas conflict is paramount.
Assuring potential pilgrims of safety, Executive Secretary NCPC Bishop Stephen Adegbite stressed that it will be a journey for reawakening and spiritual rejuvenation, adding that the pilgrims will experience the glory of God by the end of the pilgrimage exercise, as he condemned the ongoing carnage in Gaza.
Pilgrimage in Nigeria is no longer every month. Pilgrimage in Nigeria has been scheduled to take place between April and July. That is Easter pilgrimage. And the second one would be the main pilgrimage from November to February. And by His grace, we have gone through the procurement acts and procedures, and we are concluding that today, marking 100 days in office.
Stakeholders at the event expressed confidence in the Executive Secretary as he achieves great milestones within the period of 100 days.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has made many appointments, but the appointment of Bishop SDV Adegbite, PhD, is one of the best appointments that have been made by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
I want to tell you that he's a very strong and formidable individual, rugged, resilient, result-oriented, action-centered, and he's a man of God par excellence.
He that started the great work, that gave you this assignment, will accomplish all that concerns you. Amen. NCPC will witness a turning point that will give honor and glory to God.
High points of activities to mark the milestone includes unveiling of magazine to disseminate information on the activities of the Pilgrims Board effectively. In Abuja, Asebe Williams, NTA News.
The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, says it has released additional 36,540 UTME results, which were earlier withheld for investigation. This is in addition to the 531 results released the previous week, bringing the total results released to 1,879,437. JAM spokesperson Fabian Benjamin, in a statement, said others found to be involved in any examination misconduct are still undergoing investigation, as the board would want to review all the footage of all CCTV cameras placed in all its accredited centers to ascertain the candidate's culpability or otherwise. The statement also dismissed the report stating that the outstanding 2024 UTME results currently being subjected to intense scrutiny by its team of experts had been compromised on account of a cybersecurity breach, and that it is considering rescheduling the examination. JAM, however, said that a closer look at the letter, which was not signed by any person, lacked every ingredient of a letter from the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board. The letter, the JAM noted, is not from JAM, but from those who wish to destroy the integrity of the board by compromising its operational processes to mislead candidates with the sole aim of extorting them, while pointing out that the results of its 2024 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination and other previous years are intact and cannot be hacked by anybody. The statement added that at the conclusion of this exercise, the board would publish its findings. The statement also urged the public to be wary of misleading information emanating from sources not linked to the board, be it religious or other sources. And now to other matters. The family means different things to different people. Some say it is the pillar of their strength. Others say it is the foundation of values like love, respect, faith, hope, care, ethics, and cultures. The list is endless. Therefore, global attention today focuses on the role families play in development. Ifoma Ojinta packaged the reports.
The International Day of Family is observed annually on May 15 as a way to raise awareness about the various struggles that may impact the basic family structure worldwide and to reflect on the role families play in development.
All of us came from one family or the other, and when you look at family, family is the smaller unit of the society, and it's what being celebrated because whatever character we put on, in a public domain is what we have been learned from our family.
It is very, very important. If every man can go home and take care of their family, groom their children, the crisis we are having in society today, we will not be having it. We will not be having so much police cases, so much drug cases, you understand? The family has a lot to do.
Though very important, Families today contend with various social, political, and economic challenges. Besides encouraging people to take time from their daily routine to spend with loved ones and strengthen family bonds, there is a strong advocacy for increased investment in the strengthening and unification of families as a means to achieve greater development outcomes.
I'm going to advise people that married, they separated, and other family entirely. And you can see most of people, they are even in the same house. So they are not talking with their wives. They are not even sleeping together, so which is no good. So they should try to come together and make peace in their house.
It's for you to be moral, and it's for you to be transparent in whatever you are doing, dealing with your own nuclear home.
These days, you see people, neighbors, they don't even know themselves. Neighbor to neighbor, they don't know themselves. When something happens, and we need ourselves because we are social animals, the next person to you, according to my own religion, is your person.
It is the 30th anniversary of the International Day of the Family with the theme, Family and Climate Change. Therefore, the United Nations states that empowering families through education, changing consumption habits, and advocacy are critical for meaningful and effective climate action. Ifoma Ojinta, NTA News.
And that's the much we'll take on the abridged version of the news. Remember, we had to take the abridged version due to the live telecast from Kwale earlier. We'll have more reports at 7. For now, do have the best of the afternoon. Bye.